Welcome to the FilePilot Software FilePilot Copy demo sequence. This is part 2, and let's go right into, we've installed FilePilot Software, and what you see on your desktop is the launcher for the program itself, quick start guide, and shortcut to the logs. Let's get the program up and get it running here. What we're going to be doing today is showing samples of what you would go through typically if you were doing a data migration. So normally when you first install the program, what you'll see when you bring up the screen is your domain will be sitting here, and then you can explore what servers are in that domain by doing this click and refresh that I just did. And then you expand it out, and it's following the Explorer style paradigm. Today we'll be doing a copy from Whopper to HAL, so I'll be expanding those. You'll see that we also provide these special little symbols, and when you hover over them for a tooltip, it'll tell you what those symbols mean. You can see right away whether or not you have permissions to access servers or systems that you might be interested in accessing without spending a lot of time to learn that. And the paradigm that we use with this product is you expand it out until you find the folder or share that you're interested in, and then you simply drag and drop it over to the source or target. Now, if you make a mistake, like I just did, where you try to copy the same folder onto the same source and target folders, that's not allowed. To fix that problem, it's really simple. Just find the actual folder or file that you want to use and drag and drop it across. And you instantly have the corrected setup. So now what you'll see when I expand it in the source and target is you get a preview of what's going to happen in the copy. So you can see we took the contents of demo source and we put them under demo target. And these little symbols mean merge, by the way. Let's go over to the configuration and look how we're going to configure our copy. The default provided with the product is a configuration called startup, and it usually has update copy set up. And you see we run immediately, and we'll copy the actuals from the source to the target. And we have a number of log options set up. You can unclick or click whatever ones you would like to see. And whenever you change any of these configurations, you need to save it so that the program can then use that configuration. You can see we also keep track of it in a configuration summary. And that's all we need to do on the configuration. So let's go right to the, actually, let me double check. You move it back to simple. We're going to do a first copy. It's going to do a full copy. And this, in other words, you take all the source content, you move it across, no questions asked. So let's get going on that. So just click Run. And you can see in our operation, you can do a quick check of your source and target. Did I bring the correct ones? You can also copy to the clipboard so you can create a script to run from Microsoft Task Scheduler. And you can see we keep track of it in this status as refreshed with every copy job. The megabytes per second shows you the running one, and it shows you the status. You can see we've already completed the copy job we've specified. When it's running, this elapsed time continues clicking, but you see once it's stopped, it does stop, so you get the last time shot. And then this bytes interval is the number of bytes that are being transferred on a 1-second granularity. Now you can quickly see what has been copied. We have these 2 log files. The first one is the session log, and that shows you what changes you've done in the copier in order to achieve the particular copy job. So that you have a recording of what settings and stuff that you did to make that copy job. And then this operations log, you can see that we provide a date and time stamp. We tell you the action that occurred, filed copy, bypass, skipped, or an error condition. And the source and targets are fully listed. And then there's a summary that's also. So the summary is from that operations page where we saw the stats. So that would be the case of we've done the first initial copy over that you would do with a data migration. And then the daily one that you do perhaps the rest of the week is typically known as an update. And so you can see I've created a update configuration, which you can just do by clicking on copy, and it will keep making more. And update has the update set, and so this is going to look to see if there's newer files on the source, and if so, copy it over to the target. Again, we still copy the ACLs. We're going to run immediately when we hit the run button, and the same options for logging. And again, we're going to click run. So when I click run, before I click run, what I would like you to do is take a look at this status. So focus on the status window. Okay, everybody's watching now. Okay, you weren't watching, were you? You were probably distracted by the number of bytes bypassed, or what happened to the elapsed time. So I want you to watch that again. Here we go. Okay, so just about a gigabyte was done in the blink of an eye. Now, did we actually do something? Well, let's go to the reports. Let's check the log and see the truth. And as you can see, it's marked with bypass. And bypass is, again, it's gone through and processed all the sources and targets that were selected and determined whether or not anything needed to be copied or updated. You see we did that twice because we clicked the button twice. And that is really all you need to do a data migration. We have an additional feature that I like to show, not really related to data migration, but related to if you have multiple offices or a DR situation where you want to have the source and target stay in sync. In other words, if the target gets updated, you want it copied to the source, and the source gets updated, you want it copied back to the target. And in this case, because of this mode, there's no copying of ACLs. The assumption is you've already got the ACLs straightened out in the first place, or they're consistent in the first place. And so we'll click Run to do that. And as you can see, it did it in a blink of an eye. So how do we do that? It's really doing an update twice, but we do them in parallel, so it takes just as little amount of time as you saw for the update. And so now we've completely coordinated the two, source and destination and target. And if you ever get stuck, we have this help section, which has a fully detailed documentation, and you can jump to sections through the table of contents. There's also a little section here for the license, so you can see what your license situation is. You can turn off tooltips if you've mastered the product, and you can change the date, time settings to go from GMT to local. And that concludes our demonstration of the FilePilot copier. Thank you for watching.